Hey there, Truth Seeker. Welcome to our channel and community where we discuss 13-sign astrology. Our focus today is the Ophiuchus new moon occurring Wednesday, December 13, 2023 at 12:32 p.m. New Zealand Daylight Time, where we are located. For our friends and followers in the United States, this equates to 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, December 12. We will spotlight and interpret the Sun-Moon conjunction with Mars, their trine to Chiron in Pisces, and the beautiful Venus-Pallas Athena conjunction in Libra. There's a lot going on with a few moving parts, so let's jump in. Part 1, Introduction. My name is David Keratin. My twin flame Sunna and I will both narrate this fascinating reading. Before we go further, to help align with your divine design, we encourage you to acquire a personalized 13-sign natal chart. To do so, click the link in the About section at the foot of the page, where you will also find our socials. We look forward to hearing from you. Part 2, the Ophiuchus legend. Ophiuchus is the Greek word for serpent bearer. In Greco-Roman mythology, its iconography is based on the legend of Asclepius, the deity of medicine, who, from a serpent, learned the secrets of life and death. Yet here is where this legend gets interesting. Some believe that Asclepius was the male personification of Ophiuchus, with the name changed to reflect the patriarchal worldview dominant at the time. This included the subjugation of feminine energies and the widespread removal from the body politic of female cultural references, including the number 13. In many texts, the serpent relates to the rising of the kundalini energies that activate all 33 chambers or vertebrae of the human spine, leading to enlightenment, divine wisdom, and the release of quinta, essentia, the fifth element, into our being. The ubiquitous story of the serpent is found in many cultures that predate the Greek, Roman, and Latin versions pervasive in the West, including Chinese, Indian, and numerous indigenous genealogies. The snake symbolizes creativity, wisdom, knowledge, and continuity, as it is able to shed its own skin, leading to regenesis and renewal. In shamanic tradition, the serpent represents the liminal stage experienced in a rite of passage as the adept moves from unconsciousness through the transitional state of disorientation into full conscious awareness and union with the universal intelligence, the source of all that is. These references recognize the role of the serpent archetype as a vector to integrate our lower and higher aspects to become whole. We believe that Ophiuchus was the original mother of the healing arts, and it is the presence of ether, the fifth element, that unlocks trapped emotions, dormant extrasensory capabilities, and emotional intelligence. As quintessence, Ophiuchus permeates and animates the other four energies of fire, water, earth, and wind through osmosis. In the Sanskrit, ether is called akasha or akash, and in the Vedantic philosophy, it means an ethereal fluid imagined as pervading the cosmos. In Hinduism, ether is the basis of sound, which is one of the two substratum of life, the other being light. We even find ether recognized formally in quantum mechanics, where they propose the existence of a space-filling substance or field that acts as the transmission medium for the propagation of electromagnetic and gravitational forces by which manifestation occurs. Ophiuchus is the missing link, and it is simply no coincidence that references to her have been removed from Western-influenced mythologies, yet at the same time quantum physicists recognize her presence as the field without which there is no physical reality. Modern science seeks to perpetuate the patriarchal worldview of left-brain dominance, and it suits the narrative to keep Ophiuchus and her feminine power out of conscious awareness for humanity. This is why the number 13 has been discredited, darkened, and codified as an occult power that those of the light should avoid. Part 3. Mars' influence at the new moon. Mars represents the beginning of a cycle or process. In spiritual alchemy, nothing occurs without fire or heat to transform water, our emotions, earth, our bodies, and air, our thoughts. Mars is the metaphorical primordial spark and Ophiuchus the divine quintessence, the magic ingredient required to animate life and to give birth. The presence of Mars here at the Ophiuchus new moon, therefore, marks the activation of heart-brain coherence. The message of Mars is that we are required to activate our conscious awareness, not wait for it to happen, but to identify now all impediments, blockages and barriers lodged in our bodies, lurking in our minds, or trapped in our emotions that dilute our highest potential, which leads us to the role of Chiron at this new moon.
Thank you, David. Part 4. New moon trine to Chiron in Pisces. Chiron in mythology was a centaur, half human, half horse. As such, he represents the duality of mankind, the struggle between reason and instinct, civilization and savagery, spirit and matter. The Chiron symbol shows a key attached to an Ouroboros or wheel of time, representing the law of thermodynamics, which posits that energy transitions from one state to another in an endless cycle. The circle also symbolizes unity, oneness, in the womb of creation, or Ophiuchus. Many ancient and secret orders link the circle to the prima materia, the first matter, the starting material required to achieve the alchemical Magnum Opus and to reach the Philosopher's Stone, which means the physical transmutation of our soul, the completion of our great work, and our reunification with source consciousness, having overcome the illusion of separation. This process of awakening and remembering who we truly are, that is a spirit having a temporary human experience, starts with Aries and ends in Pisces. Sometimes we see the circle surrounded by a square, representing the four corners of creation, air, water, earth and fire, and on the inside of the circle, a triangle, representing the three states of consciousness, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Therefore, the key, Chiron, to achieving our fullest potential is to recognize how the different aspects of the manifestation puzzle interact. Chiron reminds us not to get stuck physically, mentally, or emotionally, as this blocks the passage of life energy into and through us as a vector of endless creativity. The circle, as prima materia, is the womb of creation. The feminine power to give life is the fifth element, Ophiuchus. The metaphorical square identifies the four ingredients to be utilized in the creative process: air, earth, fire, and water. The equilateral triangle reminds us that life moves dynamically through the mental, emotional, and physical planes. All are equal in nature, and all are important. The circle, the square, and the triangle combine as experiences, stage gates, and milestones that represent the unfolding of our consciousness. Part 5. Pallas Athena conjunct Venus in Libra. Pallas Athena is another of the divine feminine archetypes, and her conjunction to Venus in Libra during an Ophiuchus new moon is the icing on the cake. Pallas, also known as Minerva, was a highly revered female deity in the Roman pantheon. Her symbols include the owl for wisdom and the olive branch for diplomacy. She was a master tactician involved in various conflicts, including the Trojan War. Our interpretation of her role in the astrological mosaic is that this is the energy of a strategist. Pallas represents where we tap our knowledge and experience to overcome adversity, forge a new path and open doors using whole brain thinking and refined emotional intelligence. The combination with Venus is highly benevolent, suggesting that the process of inner healing, activated by the new moon trine to Chiron, can be accomplished through self-acceptance and forgiveness. Right now is not a time for harsh recriminations and judgments, and while we may get down on ourselves sometimes, Pallas Venus reminds us to be loving, kind, and gentle. Part 6. Summary. As we conclude, let us reflect. In our prior blog, we spoke about Setna, who represents the depths of our subconscious that exist metaphorically at the outer reaches of our awareness. Those parts or aspects of us that are yet to be discovered, recognized, and brought to the light. This time around, we add to that with the new moon in Ophiuchus and the trine to Chiron in Pisces. Lying at the root of our instinctive nature are symbols, myths, archetypes, and stories that exist in the collective unconscious as templates to guide our evolution. When we visit the underlying architecture of our beliefs, compulsive actions, resistance, and fears, we can bring light to the dark corners of our mind by opening the doors of perception. Ophiuchus is the ether, the fifth element without which we cannot truly become whole. She has been deliberately removed from the astrological puzzle to obscure the vital role the feminine essence plays in powerful creative expression. Ether is the field through which electromagnetism pulses, fluxes, and oscillates, something that quantum scientists now know. When we utilize metaphorically only air, water, fire, and earth in our creative process, we limit that which we can experience. Mars asks us to act, while Chiron says explore your physical, mental, and emotional planes because it is here that we become trapped. Pallas and Venus in Libra encourage us to be gentle as we shed our old skins. When the Romans and Babylonians removed Ophiuchus from the astrological wheel, they did so to keep us boxed in and small. Ophiuchus has always been there, hiding in plain sight. It is time now to open to her divine presence as the giver of life and the missing element in the creative process. Thank you for listening. We look forward to your comments. To support our work, you can donate or make a small contribution via the Buy Us a Coffee link below. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe. You may also find us on Telegram or Facebook at David Keratin. Namaste. This has been a production of Star Kittens Media. All rights are reserved.